Hi there everybody. This is just some test footage, mainly for my own reference. Close-ups, zoom, going from a light situation to a dark to see how the auto compensates. Shots with very little colour, sort of grey on white, etc. Um, and then I can render in different settings to see what the results are like. And we start with my pet spider in the van. He looked a little bit hungry, so I went and found him a fly. Here I'm trying to get some shots of the newts down in the bottom of the pond. Really you need a polarizing filter to get rid of the reflection on the water's surface, and it'd be better on a much duller day. It was quite sunny here, but I'm managing to get something. So here we are very early in the morning. It's only just gone 5 o'clock and it's very dark and overcast, and I'm surprised how reasonably acceptable that shot seems to be. Then we make our way across to the door, and I thought the strong contrast between the black and white might be interesting. And then we step inside the lobby, and there we have the cheetah I carved some years ago when I was going around the country to the woodworking shows demonstrating wood carving, and that again shows up quite nicely because again it's very dull and dingy there. And then we step into reception proper, and it's quite understandable how grainy that is, but again the automatic seems to be compensating quite nicely. You can't expect any more than that. And then as soon as I turn the lights on, then it adjusts, and again that's quite reasonable for fluorescent light. It's not too orangey. Into the corridor, and again it's adjusting because that's not very bright at all. So not bad really. I think that's pretty good all in all. Right, we've got us morning cup of tea. I thought the focus there was pretty good with something very close to the lens. Oh, tell you what I could do. I could show you my fossil collection. So this is my fossil collection, collected off the car park. I'm not sure of the names. I'm sure Laurie will be able to tell us what they're called. I believe they are razor clams, fossilized razor clams, or something similar to a razor clam. They should be a lot longer, but they're very fragile and soon break. The idea being that it's grey on grey, very little colour. Again, it's still early morning, not a lot of light, and yet in close-up we're getting some fabulous detail. Got some nice detail and nice contrast. And you're probably asking, what are those? Well, those are just black stones. Here we're taking a shot underneath the car. It's very low to the ground, still dark and gloomy, so obviously very dark, but as soon as we get underneath, a perfectly reasonable picture. And when we turn it around and look out of the back, yes, there's light streaming towards the camera and it's bleaching out slightly, but still very reasonable. And here we've got a couple of examples of the zoom. This is about 50 yards away, and that's quite reasonable. Handheld obviously, and we've got quite a reasonable shot. This one's about 170, 180 yards away. Again handheld, and we can get right in to that sign. Focusing on the distant object, even though there's some fence in front. My only concern is the background noise. So I think those results are pretty reasonable. Obviously can't test bright sunlight, but from what I've seen there, them results look pretty reasonable to me. I was shooting the other video that I've uploaded was MP4, and I think that's perhaps why it was so juddery when I was trying to edit it. I'm now recording in 1080-25. I think I've got that correct. And now I can experiment with the settings for rendering the video file, because my previous camera was a tape cassette, and so I've got to try and find out what are the best settings to render it in. But if you have been watching, I hope you found something of interest, and as always, many thanks for watching.